Good afternoon, Facebook. Listen, if you guys are on your lunch break, I appreciate you tuning in. If you're just taking a break from what you're doing, I appreciate it. But welcome. How are you? The one who inspires here, being brought to you by Clarke Future Movement. Let's talk a little bit about fear. Wait for some people to hop on here. Wait for a few people to hop on. We're going to get started talking about this fear. As you can see, smile on my face. I am in my thinking spot. This is my aura. This is my spot. So definitely tune in. Drop a comment, engage. We are here live today. And let's talk. Let's talk about this four-letter word called fear. Shall we? Ooh, about to get stung. Oh. Let's do a little talking, people. So I'm gonna give a little bit here, wait for some people to hop on. Do. Guys, if you are tuning in, but you're, trying to work on whatever you're doing on the internet, go ahead and click the left-hand top corner and the little square there, and it'll bring this live up in a small window so you can go ahead and still continue to do what you're doing. Listen, if you're at work, if you're at your desk at work, but you're ahead of the game at work, put your headphones in, pop a listen. Tag some people in here who show fear that, you think they may need to hear something to get over it. Tag your business, tag your friends, tag your team. If you have a team, if you're in a business and you have a team, tag your team. This is good for them to hear as far as fear goes. And this is not just talking about business. This is also going to be, about life things. So let's give a few moments here, let people get tuned in, enjoy my happy view here. Enjoy the happy view. Got the chickens over there. The chickens are over there making their noise. There you go, Steven. There you go. Listen, the grind never stops. It's people don't understand that you can grind on your business while you're doing your other business. It never stops. It's the power of the internet. It's the power of having a cell phone, power of having a laptop. You can always work just a little bit, even if it's 10, 15, 20 minutes here and there. Most people actually do nothing on their breaks for lunch. So why not have yourself a business, or why not have yourself grinding and working on whatever your side hustle is? That's the question. Don't worry, Steven, we're going to talk a little bit about fear today. Just give a quick moment. I know you're on your break, so give a quick moment, let some more people tune in here. I hope we get some. I just found out how to invite people from your business page. Before, you could not invite people while you were on your business page, and I just found it out. It must be part of a new update. Guys, this is big. This is big. You can invite from your business page. I just cracked the code. Was not sure of it before, but let's go ahead and get this invite going. Let's get some people on here who I feel are important, want to hear what's being said. So let's go ahead, get some invites going. Please bear with me, guys. Now that I just figured this out, I'm going to go ahead and invite anybody who does not know how to invite when you're on your business page, because you couldn't before. I'm going to give you guys a little tip. If you go, as soon as you have a viewer on, yeah, exactly, Steven. So many people on their lunch break, they break from life. They're so caught up in what they're doing at work. It's like, I just need a break to not do nothing. When it could be so much more productive than just eating your lunch. You can eat at your desk. That's how you maximize your time. Eat at your desk while you're working, and then on your lunch break, you could be working on your side business. But yes, a tip for you guys, and I'll give this tip again at the end that I just realized. So when you're on your live from your business page, as soon as you have a viewer that comments, If you scroll your finger to the left, it will bring up live viewers and you can see who's live, up to 3 people. But it also gives you the option to invite. Hey, Kayla. So yes, guys, things are updating on Facebook for our benefit, actually. You can invite from your business page when you do a live, and you normally couldn't. You normally couldn't. But yeah, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about fear here and, you know, why this 4-letter word is so powerful, but yet it's misinterpreted. Okay, you know, as far as I believe, fear doesn't actually exist. Okay, and what I mean by that is fear, you know, I want people to think about that. You know, does the things you fear. Yes, it is the rock star Kayla. Yeah, she's a beast. Woo! That's a shark right there. Guys, I hope you're not in her water because you will be treated like a guppy. I'm sorry. Shout out to Kayla, shout out to Steven, shout out to everybody in GFB, you know, the family. But yeah, is fear actually a real thing? And for me, I've come to the point where I realize that fear actually does not exist. And why I say that is because fear is more so the mask that we put on uncertainty. It's a mask, that a word that we use to try to validate being uncertain. That's what fear truly is. It's not an actual thing. And I'm gonna give you a prime example of how fear actually is not real. So let's say in business, okay, you decide, you know, you want to make more money in your life. You see people showing you opportunity after opportunity. You know, you come to me, I show you an opportunity. You decide you don't want to invest the money. It's truly not the amount of money that it costs to invest. It's your fear that it will not work for you, that it will not produce the results that you want. But the thing to understand is that you're actually not afraid that it won't work. You are uncertain that it will not work. And people do not want to admit to their uncertainties. Okay? Because being uncertain means you just can't make sense of it in a beneficial way. Being uncertain makes people feel, for lack of better words, ignorant, stupid. It makes people feel that they just don't know, and people don't like to be confused, okay? But it's not your fear of investing in yourself. It is your uncertainty that you can make it work for you because you do not fully believe in yourself. It doesn't matter what the business opportunity is. It's the same as at work. Exactly, Kayla, the unknown. Being uncertain that you will be able to do a good enough job if you get that promotion to a manager at work. So you just work average, but not enough to get promoted because you're uncertain. And people use this mask of the word fear. And fear doesn't actually exist. Okay? The idea of fear is predicated off the uncertainty that we have about certain things we want to do in our lives. Okay, now I want you to think about this. So let's say you are afraid of, let's just say you're afraid of starting your own business online, okay? Or you're afraid of anything. We'll leave it up there and open to anything. You are afraid to start. So you decide not to do it, not to start. In that very moment that you allow your fear, which is the uncertainty of the unknown, in that moment that you allow it to make the decision for you and you do not start, now you're technically not fearful of anything. Now your fear is about nothing because you didn't start it. How can you be fearful that something won't work for you if you never started it? So you end up being afraid of absolutely nothing. Get what I'm saying? I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. People use this creation of fear to dictate and validate their decisions not to do something. You know, for me, I look at it as I don't want to be fearful of how something might not work or how I might fail. I'd rather be fearful of not trying, of not giving my all to go to the next level. Listen, we all get knocked down 1,000 times in life, okay? Don't be fearful or uncertain of the failures you will come across, because failures only are part of the path to success, because you get to learn. Do not be fearful of the failures and struggles you may face. Rather, be fearful of getting knocked down and not getting back up. If you're going to be afraid, because like I said, it's an uncertainty. People do not step out of their comfort zone, not because they fear something won't work. It's because they're uncertain that if they come out of their comfort zone, their life will be able to operate the way it did when they were just comfortable. They are uncertain that if they invest in themselves, they will have the right mentorship. They will have found the right program. They will have found the right business to invest into. They will make the money that they want to make. They will grow themselves in their business the way they want to. It's not a fear. It is a lack of being certain. Uncertainty is what drives people to not do more. So what is it that you truly fear? How can fear be real if it's just predicated on the idea that you're just uncertain? And fear has become such a powerful word that it allows us to mask not being sure. So when we decide, I do not want to try this, I'm too fearful that this will not work for me. Okay? We put the 4-letter word there, fear. And fear validates to us, we trick our brains, and it validates to us, you know what? Because I am afraid, that's good enough reason not to do it. But if you start looking at it from an aspect of, I am just uncertain, you can change that. Because things that you're uncertain of, you can never make them a certain, you can't be certain. What's the word I'm looking for here? My goodness, it just jumped right out of my head as I went to say it. But things you're uncertain about cannot change if you don't actually step into it and do it. People are afraid to take action because they're uncertain that their actions will get them the results they're looking for. So they plug that word fear, and it validates to them, to their brain, that it's okay not to do it. Okay? If you come to me and you ask me for information, and I come across this daily, people will use money. And that's another mask. People will say, well, I don't have the money. I'm afraid that if I invest this money, I will not make a return on my investment. I fear that if I invest my money or make this purchase, it will go to waste or it will not work, because they're already looking for a guarantee back. They're already looking for their money back because they are uncertain of the effort that they're willing to give. Okay, fear is not what's holding people back. I mean, at the end of the day, what do you really have to be afraid of? Because if you fear something and you don't start or take action because you're afraid, now that turns into you just were afraid of nothing. People say, okay, I fear snakes. It's not that you fear them. It's you're uncertain if you will be bitten or not. You don't fear them, because to have a fear, you cannot be scared of what is not there, what you are not involving yourself in. People are fearful of dying. Why be fearful of dying when you should be fearful of not living? And it's an uncertainty. You are uncertain of what is going to cause your death. You are uncertain of when your death will come. But one thing you can be certain of is how you live your life. You can be certain of actually giving effort to live your life and enjoy your life more. It's not fear. Fear does not exist. Fear is a mask that we use to emphasize our uncertainties. It is a mask we use to give ourselves a valuable excuse not to do more. People use fear as a reason why they won't step out of their comfort zone. But to not step out of your comfort zone is not fear. You're uncertain that you can create a new comfort zone. I challenge everyone, step out of your comfort zone. Instead of being uncertain or fearful that you will be uncomfortable, step out of your comfort zone and create comfort from what was uncomfortable. being uncomfortable doesn't have to be forever lasting. Just because you step into something and it's uncomfortable at first, okay? People go live on Facebook, they do their marketing, okay? It's listen, I was uncomfortable when I first decided that I wanted to, look and educate myself on digital products. I was uncomfortable, not fearful. I was uncomfortable, okay? And I was scared to step out of my comfort zone when I decided, you know what? I want to have a digital business. I want to help people by inspiring them, by motivating them. I was uncomfortable with the idea of, what if I don't inspire anyone? What if I don't motivate anyone? Okay? And it wasn't a fear. It was me being uncertain. And I stepped out of my comfort zone into that so-called fear and realized that I am now comfortable with it. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Listen, if you guys are getting any value from this, if it's making sense to you at all, please drop a 1 in the comments for me. I definitely appreciate it. But again, what is fear? We all have things to be fearful of. Listen, the same amount of effort it takes you to be fearful not to try is the same amount of energy you should put into something to try. Because just because you're uncertain doesn't mean it won't work. Exactly, Stephen. They're fearful to leave their comfort zone, and it's because they're uncertain that they can make themselves comfortable in what they stepped into uncomfortably to begin with. Listen, if you ever have decided that you don't make enough money at your job, but you're afraid to look for another job, and I've been in this situation because you're afraid that someone at your job might get wind of it and they might decide to let you go, knowing, oh gosh, almost got stung, guys, I'm sorry. Knowing that you're going to leave, they decide to let you go. Don't be afraid to look for a better option, because your life needs to be how you want to live it. You might be uncertain, but you're not truly afraid. You're just uncertain that you will get that higher paying job. You take days off using your PTO to go apply and interview for a job. You're fearful, so you think that it's not going to happen for you, and you allow your fear to convince you that you're stuck where you are. So you adapt to the misery of being stuck. You stay in a comfort zone, but not only stay in a comfort zone, where you're uncomfortable at, you create a comfort zone. Let's say you're miserable at your job. Let's say you don't make enough money, you don't feel valued enough from your job. Your fear is that you will not be able to make more money if you go to another job, if you apply somewhere else. Now you're uncomfortable, and what do? You throw that uncertainty away. You now keep yourself in an uncomfortable zone, and you make it comfortable for you. But that comfortability is not going to get you where you want to be. Listen, at no given point will anyone ever be paid or valued at what they should be from someone else. You can only value yourself. Now, I heard Grant Cardone talking about it, and he made a great point. Some will get lucky enough to be overpaid, okay? Others will just be underpaid and undervalued, but you'll never be paid or valued what you truly believe you're worth. Now, the idea of how to create, that value for yourself is to create your own income. Now you can put a dollar amount on your time alone, but you have to give up the idea of being afraid, okay? If you're afraid to do something, do it. Don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid to never try. Because fear doesn't actually exist. It's something we use to hold ourselves back. It's something that social structure convinces us will make us fail. They give you ideas that not going to college, you won't have a certain life that you want to live. By not getting a job and just keeping that job and working your way up the chain, you will not succeed in life. And it creates not fear, it creates an uncertainty that if you step out of that realm, will you succeed the same way? Guys, I'm out here sweating. It is hot, but it's all good because I'm getting a little fired up here. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, a little tip for you guys: on your business page, when you go live, you can invite people. If you swipe your finger to the left, you will see your live viewers once someone comments, and then the invite button will be there. Just figured it out. Again, if you're busy online at this current moment, hit that little square in the top left corner so you can minimize this screen, and then you can continue to surf the web, work on your business, whatever it may be. Yes, it's very hot over here. Exactly, Kayla. Guys, I want to read what Kayla just wrote. If you did not read it, don't even give it a second thought. Just get it done. It'll become second nature. Everything we do in life is an uncertainty, okay? It's not certain that you're going to get in college. It doesn't matter. Listen, I've seen people not get accepted to certain colleges that they wanted to, and they had straight A's. They did all the extracurriculars. It came down to someone's choice to allow you to come there, regardless of the money that you invested. There is no certainty that you will get into that college or university that you want to get into. There's no certainty or guarantee that you will get the job that you want to get with your degree. There's no certainty that you will make the amount of money you need to live the lifestyle that you want. So you fear putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation, not realizing that every day of our lives is actually uncomfortable and we are uncertain of what's going to happen next. You try to create a comfort zone so you feel certain of certain things that happen in your life. But in actuality, you cannot be certain of life itself. You cannot be certain that something's going to work that you're not giving your full effort to. There's no need to be fearful, because fear doesn't exist. Fear is a mask that we put on our uncertainty to give us a valuable or valid excuse as to why we did not try. Listen, you're going to fail at some point, okay? Think about it. Not everyone's going to make it to the NFL. Not everybody can be Tom Brady. Not everybody can be LeBron James or Michael Jordan. But people put themselves in an uncomfortable position to do so. Their fear is not that they won't be great. Their fear is not trying to be great. And it's not a fear, it's an uncertainty. Fear does not actually exist. It is something that we use to mask what we are uncertain about. I hope you guys are understanding what I am saying. Listen, I don't want to keep you guys on here too long. I do appreciate everybody chiming in, but I ask you and I challenge you, if there is something you want to do in life and you think you are afraid, okay? If you come to me and you want to see opportunity that you can use to create your own income and learn how to grow your business, if you are afraid, that is why you need to do it. Because when you let fear tell you otherwise, when you become so afraid to spend the money you work for, invest into yourself, and you decide not to move forward, you've just basically admitted to yourself that you fear nothing because you're afraid of something that isn't happening. How can you be afraid of something that isn't happening? Think about a horror movie. It's not that you're afraid of what's going to happen next. You're uncertain of what's going to happen next. You're uncertain if something's going to pop out and give you a scare. You're not afraid of the person in the movie because you know it's a movie. It gives you chills because you're uncertain of how your emotions will rise and fall during the roller coaster of this movie. It is not actual fear. You cannot fear what actually is not there. Challenge, okay? Challenge is not an object. Challenge is a mindset. You cannot fear being challenged because it's in your mind. You have the power to be more certain about what you so-called fear. But you have to actually start doing something. Okay? If you're going to have any fear or any uncertainty, you should be fearful that you will not live your life to the fullest because you are afraid to step out of your comfort zone. If you're going to have any fear, you should be afraid that you're going to get knocked down 1,000 times and not get back up. Too many people are afraid or uncertain of how many times they will get knocked to the ground. I am afraid of not getting back up. You know, I watched Eric Thomas talk about it in one of his videos, and he made a great point. You know, it's not your fault. You know, today is not your fault if you're in a position that you're unhappy with. Today is not your fault if things aren't going the way they want. But a year from now, if you're in the same position, if you're laying down a year from now, that is your fault. If you haven't changed your life the way you want it to be, that is your fault. We all run into obstacles, but you cannot allow the masking of fear to stop you from going after more. Hey, I'm Slice. Steven, that means a lot, man. You got me choked up for a second, man. That means a lot to me. Honestly, it's everything that I inspire to be, man. I truly appreciate that. But I want everyone to know that every person that I watch and follow, you guys are an inspiration to me to continue to try to inspire people, because you motivate me. You inspire me. You show me that fear doesn't exist if I don't do something. How can you be fearful of something you don't try? So many people want to start their own businesses online. Society has created this idea of fear by saying that's a scam, that won't work. You need to invest thousands of dollars for you to succeed in having your own business. There's no way you can start a business for $7 and make commissions and start building an income. There's no way you can start a business for $18 and start building income. There's no way that people will pay you to run their social media that they already use because they don't have the time to do it. There's no way you will create the life that you want. Okay? There's no way you will create the life and the lifestyle that you want if you don't go to college, if you don't get a job. They implant this idea of fear, which actually is just the ideal of uncertainty. They make you feel uncertain that if you step out from your job, if you downgrade your house, if you downgrade your car, if you downgrade your expenses, and now use some of that money to invest and grow yourself bigger, that you can create the life you want in the long run instead of the short term. People fear stepping out of their comfort zone. Okay? Do you have it in you to say, you know what? I don't need this expensive house right now because I know where I'm trying to get to in 5-10 years from now. So if I downgrade, now I give myself more to invest into myself. Now, 10 years from now, I can double the size of my home. I can double my worth. Because I am not afraid that I will fail. I'm afraid of not trying. Because being afraid doesn't actually exist. It is just being uncertain. People are uncertain that if they invest their money into a side business, into an online business, into the business of themselves, that they will not succeed. And they use the word fear to mask this uncertainty because the word has become so powerful. They allow the power of the word, which society has created, to make you believe that you should not do it. They allow this powerful word, which truly ultimately has no power because it's all up here. When you fear something, it's not someone made you fear something. It's not the object that you fear. It's not the idea that you fear. The fear's up here, that you will not succeed, that you will not overcome. If you are fearful, listen, if you are fearful of trying, I challenge you to try it. If you're uncertain that you will not make your money back, I challenge you to invest 110% into your effort so you do make your money back. Listen, at one point I was fearful. At least I thought I was fearful. I was afraid that if I invested this amount of money and started a business online, I would not make my money back. I would not make any money. And when I realized that I was just being uncertain in my head that I could make it work, and I decided, let me step out of my comfort zone because I don't like to feel uncertain about anything in my life that I can control. No one likes to feel uncertain about things that they can control. And I decided to risk on myself. I decided to invest in myself. And from being uncertain and deciding that fear didn't exist and I can control being uncertain, I invested in myself. I made my money back. Then I made my first profit. Then I made another profit. Then I helped someone get started. Okay, every time I make a commission or I make a profit in my online businesses, I have now helped someone get over their fear or uncertainty that they can do it. That, people are uncertain that they can invest in themselves and create something that they want. But it is not fear. Fear is it's an objective 4-letter word that we use as a mask to cover up our uncertainties and give us a validation that it's okay not to do it. But again, when you are fearful of something and then you don't actually do it, what are you actually afraid of? You can't be afraid of something that you didn't do, something that you didn't try. You can be uncertain, but why be uncertain? Nobody wants to feel confused. Nobody wants to think that they can't do it. But you have to just take the action in your life. And that is with any business, that is with life itself. Okay? Understand that you will never get in the game if you just focus on sitting on the sideline. You can never become the star if you fear that it won't work, if you fear that it can't happen, if you fear that it's not possible. If you are uncertain about your efforts that you're willing to put in, you will never reach new heights. But you should never tell yourself that you are afraid, because that idea of fear will convince you not to try. And the idea of fear doesn't exactly exist because it's all up here, and you control what's up here. If you are uncertain, don't say you're afraid. Decide to put the effort in so you can be more certain about it. Validate that you can do more. Be afraid of not trying, not of losing and failing. Do not allow yourself to mask anything you decide you want to do in life and stay away from with fear. Okay? The moment you think of the word fear or I am afraid that I will not make my money back. I am afraid that I will not get this promotion. I am afraid that I will not get there on time. Tell yourself, I am not afraid, I'm just uncertain. I'm uncertain that if I take this path, the result that I want will come out. And then what's going to happen is you want to start thinking to yourself, well, if I'm uncertain of it, how about I make it a definite? How about I make this work for me? How about I make it and learn to make my money back? Because I have nothing to be afraid of, okay? To truly be afraid is really to just fear the power of your brain. You are uncertain that you can flip your comfort zone to be uncomfortable and back to comfortable. Listen, I was uncomfortable when I first got into, marketing online, when I first decided to have online businesses, when I first decided to speak to people the way I am now. I was uncomfortable, and I did it. And the more I did it, now that uncomfortability became comfort. You can create your comfort zone from something that is uncomfortable if you decide to give up the idea that you are fearful of doing it. Do not let anyone convince you that you should be fearful of, well, that's a scam. That's not going to work. Your dreams can't come true. Because I didn't go after mine means you can't go after yours. Do not allow someone else's uncertainty of seeing you get the results you want to dictate what you do in life. Do not allow someone else's uncertainty to cause you fear of trying. Okay? Do not fear death, fear not living. Do not fear that you won't make your money back. Fear that you won't give yourself a chance to make your investment back. Fear, okay, if you're going to be uncertain about not being able to create the life that you want. And when you become uncertain and you realize that it's not a true fear and you become uncertain about it, now you have the power to say, well, if I'm uncertain about it, why am I? If I'm uncertain about it, I don't want to be confused. I don't want to feel like I don't know. So I'm going to give 110%, 150%, 200%, whatever you want to call it. Now you're going to give yourself the motivation. You're going to find it. You're going to give yourself the power. You're going to give yourself the mindset to not be uncertain. If you are going to fear uncertainty. Fear the idea of being uncertain about something. Because when you understand that fear doesn't actually exist and you're just uncertain, you will understand that you have the power to change that. There is no reason to be afraid. Anyone who is watching this, if you're getting any type of value, okay, if this makes sense to you, if you understand what I'm saying, please drop a 1 in the comments. Let me know you guys are hearing me. Exactly, Stephen. Fear is just a 4-letter word. Fear is a 4-letter word. That's all it is. We just use the idea of fear to not go further. Because fear is actually predicated on the idea that you are uncertain and that you will not give your full effort. That's it. That's it. Fear is what you allow to give you reason to not be happy. Instead, think about it as, I'm uncertain if I take this path, I will get the results I want. But I don't want to be uncertain, so I'm going to do what it takes to make sure that I do reach my goals. Fear is a 4-letter word, but so is love. Do something that you love to do. Love yourself by not allowing yourself to be fearful. You are going to fall 1,000 times, okay? Don't be afraid of the falling. You should be afraid that you will not get back up each time, because fear doesn't exist. At the end of the day, someone's got to win, you or fear, okay? You can be uncertain for your entire life, but everyday life is an uncertainty. We're uncertain if we'll wake up in the morning when we go to sleep. We are uncertain that if we eat something, it will not irritate our stomachs. We are uncertain that if we get into our vehicles and drive somewhere, we won't get in an accident. But the way we curb that uncertainty is to take the action and do it and challenge it anyway, because you have the power up here to make your uncertainties a certain thing. You have the power to eliminate fear from your life, but you have to want to. You have to understand that it is a 4-letter word that does not have complete control over what you want to do. It does not have complete control over the results you will get. It does not have complete control over your mind, because your mind processes the idea of fear. Your mind masks itself with that 4-letter word because you are uncertain. Listen, if you're uncertain that you will make your money back if you invest into an online business, any type of business, do it. Eliminate the uncertainty by taking the action and investing in yourself. The only way to eliminate being uncertain about something is to do it. But again, how can you be fearful of something that you don't do? How can you be afraid of jumping out of a plane if you're not standing at the door about to jump out? The idea of being afraid of something you're not doing is technically the idea of being afraid of nothing. You're being afraid of a thought. You're uncertain about the decision you want to make. So you don't truly fear the idea of it. You fear being uncertain in that situation. But you can eliminate it. Guys, I challenge you to not be fearful, okay? If you feel that you are afraid, be afraid of not trying, not afraid of trying and failing. Do not be afraid of death, be afraid to not live. Do not be afraid to invest in yourself. Be afraid of not investing in yourself. Be afraid of not giving yourself more, okay? Yes, it is an uncertain path when you decide to invest in yourself. But the way that you correct it and you get that uncertain feeling out of you is to do it. Put the effort in so you no longer are uncertain about it. Now you are succeeding. Step out of your comfort zone and become uncomfortable and make your uncomfortable zone your comfort zone. You have the power to do so. But you have to eliminate the idea of fear because it does not exist. Take off the mask, allow yourself to be uncertain, and then get rid of that uncertainty by doing it, by taking the action. Guys, I'm gonna hop off of here. It's hot, I got sweat going in my eyes. I hope you guys found some value in this. Please share this with your teammates. If you have a team in your business, share this with your team at your job. Share this with someone who needs a lift me up because they allow fear to determine what they do in life. Share this with the world. Hey, Bethany. But understand, Do not be afraid to share this, okay? Do not be afraid of how someone will judge you. Be afraid that people will have no reason to speak your name. Don't be afraid of how they will speak your name if you decide to start an online business. Be afraid that they won't speak your name because you did nothing to stand out. You did nothing to make yourself great. Don't be afraid that people will judge and look down on you for you taking a chance on yourself. Be afraid that you won't take a chance on yourself. And do it. It's a 4-letter word. It has no real power. It is the mask we put on uncertainty. Curb your uncertainty and go do something great. You have the power. Eliminate the fear because it's just an idea. Change that idea of fear into an idea of trying. Listen, the one who inspires, hope you guys got inspired today. Okay, this is being brought to you by Clarke Future Movement. Shout out to the GFB family. Guys, I hope you all destroy today. And I mean destroy it. I hope you decide, you know what? I am no longer fearful of stepping out of my comfort zone. And I challenge you to do something uncomfortable and create your own comfort zone. Don't allow your circumstances to make you uncomfortable. Do something uncomfortable to make your circumstances comfortable. You guys have a good afternoon. Have a good day. Anybody who's interested in seeing some opportunity because you no longer feel fear, you no longer have the fear of if you're going to make your money back or if you're going to succeed, shoot me a message, drop a comment. Listen, share this with the world, people, because I'm here to inspire and motivate any and everyone. Share it with somebody, tag someone in the comments. I'll talk to you guys.